Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you something. Terence Crawford's name right now is hot. Matter of fact, it's hotter than Canelo's name. Now, breaking news, if you haven't heard, Terence Crawford is a promotional free agent. So what that tells us is something didn't work out over there at PBC. The rematch with Errol Spence, I would like to say that's off. So Terence Crawford, as of right now, he's hot. He's a promotional free agent, but my boy is home alone. Because you would think, now that this has been announced, that there would be different, Top Rank I don't think is going to be coming at him. But you would think, Fast Eddie will be putting a little eyeball on Terence Crawford. Or there'll be somebody talking about, hey, Terence Crawford, we'd like to have a conversation with you. You know, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy would love that. But the reality is, Terence Crawford may find himself in a bad spot because with the kind of money he's looking for, Golden Boy ain't trying to pay that. And the reality is, the best fit for him, because I can't see him going back to Bob Arum, would probably be Eddie Hearn. But Crawford doesn't want to get into any long-term contracts. He will entertain a 2-3 fight deal, maybe a 4-5 fight deal, depending on the contract and just the money. But the thing about Eddie Hearn, and my boy Mills reminded me today, right? Eddie Hearn was a little sour about Terence Crawford coming out there and clipping Ricky Burns out there in the UK. It could be that Eddie Hearn still has a little disdain towards Terence Crawford. But it's like I was telling my partner, what he's saying is spot on. However, Terence Crawford today is a different animal. Remember, there's two Terence Crawfords. There's Terence Crawford from 135, Terence Crawford from 140, Terence Crawford at 147, and Terence Crawford, the two-time undisputed champion. That matters. So the bottom line is, I don't know what happened, that whole contract expiring between Crawford and Errol Spence, but the writing was on the wall that rematch wasn't going to take place. When December passed last year, I said, that shit ain't happening. But I still felt like, because Spence went against the grain and he made that fight with Crawford, although he was advised not to, I felt like, you know what, Crawford is going to, as a kind of bro code thing, say, hey, you know what, you looked out for me, get yourself healthy, I'm going to look out for you. Now, when I say Crawford became rich off of that Spence fight, doesn't mean Crawford didn't have money before. What I mean by that is Crawford got paid more money for that Spence fight than he's ever made in any other fight. Okay? So because of Spence, Crawford really set his family up for the future. And you would think Crawford would want to give Spence the opportunity for a rematch, but it looks like it's just not going to happen. So anyway, now we got to see what's going to happen, because I still feel there's a huge demand for Crawford. But I'm going to tell you, man, the fight that's calling his name is goddamn Boots Ennis. But, Boots Ennis has his own issues. I had somebody post something in the comments today about something I said about Boots Ennis, where they were basically, acting the shoe size and using colorful words to describe what they thought about my commentary, which I could care less. But they're all fighters ducking boots. There's no secret about that. But at the same time, this is where people got to set the emotion aside. Boots and his dad, they're saying no to fights. Okay, Barrios, whatever, ducked him, baby coming, doesn't want to train, then girl with the baby pregnant and all that, distractions. You can kind of understand, but you could say he's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. Cody Crowley, yeah, I'll fight Boots, but I want to get paid handsomely. Maybe the money's not quite there. Maybe he's going to put duck sauce on the fried rice. But that leaves Boots with not many options. However, when Conor Benn says, and Eddie Hearn says, we got money for you, we got a fight date, let's have a conversation. And you won't even have a conversation. To me, that's stupid. When you can't get the people in the ring you want, you won't even go and take this fight as a stay busy fight, get yourself a little money, put another name on your record, right? Let the world know, because people are forgetting what you can do, but you won't even go and do that. That, to me, is counterproductive. But just my opinion, because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and not one person on this internet knows, because only the fly in the fucking wall knows. But the bottom line is, Terence Crawford in boots, in my opinion, that's the fight to make. But I understand Crawford's position, and I get it. But as far as what's going to happen with Crawford now, I don't know, because I think all the fans, for the most part, were kind of anticipating at least seeing what a guy like Errol Spence would look like in a rematch with Terence Crawford. We know Crawford wants Canelo. Canelo has no interest in him. This whole thing about Jermell Charlo and fighting at 154 for Crawford to become a 3-time undisputed, that's not even an option no more, because Jermell has no belts now. Crazy. That man became undisputed, and them sanctioned bodies just stopped. I mean, like grapes. They were just plucking them belts off his ass like grapes, man. And Jermell is just in the breeze. Who knows if he's going to retire, what he's going to do. So what does Crawford do? Who does he fight? Tim Tszyu's about to fight Keith Thurman. So here we go. You know, Terence Crawford's next fight. Who knows what he's going to do? If he's going to get in a little 3-fight deal again with someone else. Who knows? But really, his two options, since he doesn't want to fight Boots, it may be Keith Thurman, the winner of Keith Thurman versus Tszyu. That's what it may be. I mean, Crawford about to be 37, man. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I still think he needs the machine behind him. I just don't think his profile's where it needs to be, and he needs a machine behind him to push him. I'm not saying he's not smart enough to do it by himself. I'm just saying he's at a point in his career where he doesn't have time to keep growing his brand. Like, he needs someone to help him, to fast track it, to get him in a year what would take him 5 years to do. And I think the Zone, I think Eddie Hearn, I think that's the vehicle that he needs to bring on board to help him with what he needs in these last few fights before he calls it quits. Now, it's not me saying he's going to retire. It's him. He said he only wants a few fights, big fights, and he's retiring. And I think Eddie Hearn may not get him a big name, but I think for sure they can get him over there in Saudi Arabia and let him go out there and make, 15, 20 million. I mean, these guys need to stop being realistic about shit. Devin Haney's a good person that you can learn from. Devin Haney's out here taking pay cuts and everything to keep working on his legacy and keep getting money put in his pocket. Clarissa Shields is out here doing the PFL, and she'll fight anyone as long as she's making a little bit of money, but she's not out here outpricing herself. Austin, no doubt, Trout, he's still a professional boxer, but he's out there doing this bare knuckle crap, you know what I'm saying? Still getting paid. And when he was a fighter, he fought everybody. He wasn't out here worrying about how much he was going to get paid. He stayed active. He kept getting his money. I think it's at a point to where, Terence Crawford can afford to be picky, but at the same time, you can't allow your being so picky in particular to where you go inactive. Earl Spence isn't happening. Okay, what you going to do now, champ? You home alone. What you going to do? And that's what we're going to have to see, because a long-term deal, that ain't really the answer for Terence Crawford. As far as going to Eddie Hearn and the Zone, I think that's the move for Terence Crawford. I really do, man. You're talking about getting back over there with PBC. Look, plenty of shit starts to stink. Everybody seems to have concerns about PBC right now. I think the ship is about to sink. But I'm not wishing bad on him, but I just a blind man can see what the hell's going on in PBC. Things aren't right. Maybe things will settle down and then that could rise from the ashes like the Phoenix, but right now I don't see it. And as far as getting back with top rank, look, it's like I said, I don't know. When he came out and he said, Bob Arum said that he's hemorrhaged money, so much money he could have bought a house in Calabasas. And talking about Terence Crawford, he hurt Terence Crawford's marketability. But at the same time, he may have to do a one-fight deal because Teofimo Lopez may be the answer for him. Teofimo, Thurman, Tszyu, he doesn't want to fight Boots. Canelo doesn't want him. I mean, really, Crawford's his options, in my opinion, maybe Teofimo. Not because Teo's going to want to catch weight, so they got to work that out. But forget all that bullshit. Tszyu, Thurman. Because nobody else really doesn't seem... He's kind of backed himself in the corner now. What does he do? Like, what does he do? Everybody's mouth is watering over Terence Crawford. But what does he do? Because the kind of money he's gonna want, he's gonna have to take some pay cuts. You can't keep getting Earl Spence paydays. Like, it just doesn't happen that way. You're gonna have to settle for, maybe the $5, $6, $7 million or something like that, if that. But, I don't know. You just gotta wait and see, because I just don't want to see him fighting guys who the perception is that they're washed up. But the reality is he doesn't have many options. But we just don't know. We just got to wait and see. But bottom line, Terence Crawford, hey, free man. Run with the heart of a man that's been freed. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, where you running, at least know where you're running to. Because right now, I don't think my man has a good pulse on what's going to happen with him next. Because with him not wanting to fight certain fighters, and then him wanting big money for certain fights, and those fighters not wanting to fight him, that leaves this man out there on nowhere's land. He's like Wilson and Castaway with Tom Hanks. He's the goddamn volleyball out there with Tom Hanks. You know what I'm saying? He's just out there in the breeze. But we'll see what's next for Terence Crawford, man. Teofimo, winner of Thurman Tszyu. Yeah, boots, I really don't know what he's going to do. But that's the word. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.